meaningful marriages, tips to make your marriage great. So, based on our last episode, we got terrific feedback, and people are clearly craving for tips on how to strengthen their marriage during the epidemic. So, here's another tip. Being that we're parents of 8 children, and our youngest Salmi was born with Down syndrome, we found that every week we were clearly desperate for time to reconnect. We had to carve out time in our busy, hectic life to connect to each other. And so we were fortunate, right, that we have the ability to send our child, Zalmi, to Friendship Circle. It was a special needs organization, or we would send him to Rena. And we found this to be a game changer because while Zalmi was there, we had the time to connect. We had the time to really be there for each other.
But you don't need to have a special needs child to have quality time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This is absolute imperative for every marriage. And it doesn't need to be 2 or 3 hours. It can be just a few moments every day. And it reminds me of the story of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, who was one of the busiest people in the world, and he had so many things to do. And when he would come home at night, sometimes he would come 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And every time, his wife, the Rebbetzin Chaim Mushka, was always waiting there at the door. And she brought him into the house, and on the table was bedecked with the most beautiful bone china. And she would serve him some tea, and they would spend some quality time together. It could have been a few moments, maybe an hour, maybe 2. But what most important was that it was so important to the Rebbe and the Rebbetzin to every day have that quality time with each other. In fact, I remember once hearing that the doctor of the Rebbe, the heart doctor of the Rebbe, once said that he had a private conversation with the Rebbe, and the Rebbe said that to him, this was so important. It was important for him to do it every single day, like it was important for the Rebbe to put on tefillin.
Oh, wow.
Now you imagine for the Rebbe to put on tefillin, it was just as it was a priority, and I think this is what's important. I mean, we've told it to different, we've told it to different couples, this idea about setting aside quality time. They do it a day, 2, 3, and then they drop it. It's all about priorities. Priorities we never forget, and we remember to do it every day. When your doctor tells you every day you need to do exercise for your heart, you don't forget to do the exercise.
Yeah, sure, right.
Like your life depends on
it. Right.
Marriage life depends on this quality time. This is the fuel of marriage.
I love it. So how about 3 practical takeaways for this week? Okay. Number 1, take a romantic walk this week. 10-15 minutes, like my husband said. 10-15 minutes is all you need. But it has to be you and your spouse. Number 2, bonding tea time. Just like the Rebbe. Sit down and have tea with your spouse and talk about things other than the bill and the leak and the stuffed toilet. Okay. And number 3, how about having an intellectual conversation, an intellectual exchange of ideas? Learn together, read a book together, an exchange of ideas, share insights.
Right. This could work even in COVID time.
Yeah.
Where we're locked in, locked home, and we still can find those few moments.
So, wishing you a great day.
And don't forget to work on making a happy marriage.